Good afternoon. So as you can see, I'm back on board so far. If you watched my previous video, you'll know that I just had, or was just about to have, eye surgery. So that was about 7 days ago now. Recovery's going well though. I'm back on board my boat and I'm just doing a few little boat jobs, but just trying to take it easy. I'm going to keep the sunglasses on for the video, I don't want to weird any of you guys out with the mess I've got going on up there. But one of the jobs I want to do is change Safar's main halyard. It's my previous halyard was a Dyneema one, but it's very stiff. It's quite hard to be getting the main up. It doesn't really like going around the roller at the top, the sheave at the top. So I'm going to revert back to just some good old double braid line instead. So I'm going to be putting a splice into this, just a simple eye splice. And so I thought I'd just do a quick video on how I do it, and then yeah, hopefully you either learn something, or if you already know how to do it, you can critique my technique. But normally first thing I do is I put a knot in it a few meters down, and that's just going to help lock the core in place. Then we'll go back to the end. This has been cut with a hot knife, and it's got a bit of sellotape around it as well, so we're just gonna snip the end off. So we'll just secure that better with a bit of insulation tape. We don't want to pull it too tight because we want to be able to slide the core out in a second. Okay, so I like to use Selma fids. I find them, yeah, just really good, really strong. You can use the sort of D-splicers as well, which normally you would use for like Dyneema. So yeah, find your correct fid size. Oh. So that's a bit big, so it's going to be this one. So first up, we're going to just measure a fid length. We'll just stick a little mark on here. And then we need to determine the size of the eye we want. So for this, it's probably going to be something a bit like that. So we're going to stick a mark there as well. And then now we need to extract the core, which is this white part of the line. So we need to extract that out through here. Now, when doing it, it's important to be a bit gentle with it, because what you don't want to do is keep picking at it and then damaging the sheath or this outer jacket. So, you know, we can push the line together a little bit, and that's going to give loads of slack in the jacket. And then we can kind of use a smaller fid and just move the jacket out the way a little bit to allow us to get at the core. Okay, and I'm just going to stick a little mark on this now before I pull it out too much, so I know where that goes. Okay, and now we're just going to pull the core out. Like that. So we've got our first mark on here, and so now we're just going to pull a bit more of this out. Essentially what we want to kind of about 3 sort of fid lengths, and then we'll use the small fid. I'm just going to poke that through there just to lock that in place so it can't slide back into the jacket. Now, using our fid, we need to measure out the length, which is how the splice is going to work, and that's usually a fid and 2/3 length. So we're going to do a mark at 1 fid's length, and that's away from the original mark that I put as I pulled it out, and then we'll do our 1/3 or 2/3 length, and we'll do a mark there as well. So now what we're going to do is we are going to attach the fid to the jacket, and we're going to slide the jacket into the core at this mark and then out of the core at that mark. So we'll work through that now. So again, just create a little bit of space in here. But just be nice and gentle with the fid again, trying not to catch anything. And then we'll just poke the fid through, so a bit like that. Now the jacket, I think we'll just take that bit of tape off, or no, we'll leave it on. Okay, so we pulled that through, so that's good. Now I'm just going to feather this line off a little bit, because what I don't want in my splice is there to be a bulge at all. So we'll just feather out this line just by thinning it, and we can do that just by picking out a few strands, and then we'll snip them with the scissors. So we've thinned that out a bit. Now we're just going to pull this back, and what we want is just to lose the end so it sucks up inside. So something a bit like that. Now I'll take this fid out, and I'm just going to poke it through both of these, and that's just going to hold it in place and stop this sheath from, or jacket from, coming out. So now the next stage is going to be to tuck the core in, or back into the jacket, and we're going to use the fid for that again and come all the way through here, roughly to about sort of 50-60 mil up on, you know, or just past the eye, I guess. So we can do that now. So this can be a little bit tricky sometimes. You know, if you're working with a really tight or really tight rope or something, it can be quite hard to get the line through. Ideally you want sort of the thinnest fid you can use for this. So yeah, just important to try really tuck it in as best as you can. If needs be, you can also just add a little bit of tape round the fid as well, just to help secure the line, but importantly just to also help make it like a smoother finish on the fid, I guess, so it's less likely to snag. So we've worked out all of the slack from here, and so now we can poke this through. Now one thing that can happen is as you're pushing the fid in, you can accidentally snag the core on the inside of the jacket here, and if that happens, you're never going to be able to complete the splice really. So I try and keep this face down so that it's sitting on top of that as I'm pushing through, because if you start to angle it, it's going to catch inside there and you might end up trying to splice through the core like that, and so your splice just, it won't milk, you won't be able to do it. So we'll just try to be nice and gentle with it as we poke this in. We'll come a little bit more, and then we can bring the fid out. And so we're just being nice and gentle, so you can push it a little bit till it bunches up and then just milk it back. And then just like that, we've got it through. So that is essentially the splice almost complete now. So we'll pull this section in until this loop sort of disappears. So we're just going to keep pulling it. Okay, so now we need to get this bit inside of here. As you can see, we've got a lot of slack. This is all bunched up. Notably, you can see how much thicker that is at the moment. So we know we've got loads of room in there. And so this process is called milking. So it's usually better to secure the line to something. I'm going to be fairly gentle with it, so I won't pull too hard because I don't want to damage my my woodwork on board the boat. So we'll just start the process of milking. So I'm just going to hold it. And so essentially, you're just going to keep pulling the slack, and you can see that that's getting sucked in. This is the bit that people sort of struggle with the most, and a handy trick is if you're really struggling to get this bit in, you can use a hammer or a mallet or something like that, and you just give this a bit of a bang, a bit of a tap, and that will ease it out. Or you can kind of just work it round a little bit, and then that creates some slack in there as well. So we'll keep going a little bit more, and then we'll probably take the line outside so that we can pull up on it really tight. Okay, so we're going to take this out now and keep the milking going. Alright, so we're almost there. So we'll take it outside now. I'll secure the line off to something that I can really pull hard against, and we'll finish it off. Alright, so I've just secured the tail end off to one of the winches, and so now we can finish the final little bit of the milking. Again, fairly easy, so we're just going to draw our arm down it to bunch it up, and then just give it a pull. And so that's all sucked in nicely. We'll do a bit of reverse milking And there we have it. So again, what we don't want is to end up with any big lumps or bumps in the line. So when we cut this now, I'm just going to pull it through a little bit, so this end will bunch up. I'm going to then thin the line out again just a little bit, cut it, and then we'll reverse milk it, and that should smooth it straight out. So I'm just going to put a little mark so I know where it needs cutting. And so I've pulled it out and you can see it's all bunched up. And then now we'll just reverse milk it so that this section gets sucked back inside. And then we have it, we've got a nice eye splice without any bumps, so it should go over the sheaves just fine. So then the next job is just to do a nice whipping on it, and then job done. Well, and there we have it. So I've just done a quick whipping on it. So normally I do the needle and palm whipping, so that's now all good to go. Those of you might spot that I've not actually put a like a halyard shackle on, but what I tend to use for my main is just a like an elongated regular D shackle, so I don't actually need to splice that on in place, but yeah, seems to have come out alright. I'm quite happy with that. Obviously I don't normally make instructional videos at all, so this is probably my first one ever, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see me do more of this sort of stuff, then let me know in the comments, or if there's anything maintenance wise that you know I do to Safar and you'd like to see that, then just let me know and I'll have a crack at recording some of those videos. But yeah, thanks for watching, and as always, please do drop a like, subscribe, and if you're feeling like you really want to promote the channel, sharing it on your social media as well would be really good. But yeah, I'll catch you next time.